Hello, I'm Pavel Odintsov and I'm after Fastnetmon and I'm CTO of Fastnetmon Limited. Today I would like to focus on one of the most efficient ways how you can actually stop DDoS attack against your network. So, we're talking about silver bullet, which actually works in all cases. It cannot be true, really. It definitely must have a catch, but it doesn't. So today we are going to talk about BGP Blackhole. It's called Gateway. It perfectly explains what we are going to do. I mean, in same time it's clear that we are going to send traffic to a black hole. But how? It's not clear. What is BGP Blackhole and what's your options about using it? Again, to make use of BGP Blackhole to defend attacks against your network, you need to have network. And even if you have network, again, if you have virtual machine, if you have dedicated service somewhere else, and you have no access to network equipment, unfortunately you cannot use it. Sorry about that. You need to use different cloud scribing centers, or maybe some DDoS defense which works on DNS or HTTP level by redirecting your site to somewhere else. But you cannot use BGP Blackhole in this case, and it may be pointless actually for you. And so you need to have network. Again, great, you have network, and not in all cases you have access for a protocol called BGP. Again, it's absolutely crucial to have support for BGP protocol to use BGP Blackhole, because Blackhole is not abstract thing. It works over a protocol called BGP, just border gateway protocol. Yes, it doesn't say so much how it's used. What is the point of this protocol? But it's backbone, it's foundation of internet. BGP is literally how internet works. Simple. That's all you need to know for now. And so what you can do, and you have network, you have access for your routers, you have access for your switches, and you have upstream for which you have BGP connection. So you're almost 100% ready to use BGP Blackhole. But unfortunately in some countries or in some circumstances, upstream they don't like to provide you BGP. And it's very unlikely that you will have BGP for small residential connection from your home. Of course, if you are geeky, you may have it. It will be really great to have BGP at home. But it's very rare. And again, even for medium-sized office buildings, it's very unlikely that you will have BGP connection because there are no reasons for it. And most of the time you will have multiple IP addresses or just subnet, maybe /24 allocated for your services, and that's all. You have no control over BGP protocol. And in many cases you actually don't need it. And so to use BGP Blackhole, you need to have complete access for your network. You need to be a network administrator of your company. You need to have a BGP connection to your upstream. And one of the final points, your upstream must support BGP Blackhole. Unfortunately, there's a long list of upstreams which don't like it, and they don't offer it, and they don't care. But fortunately, there's a way longer list of companies which offer BGP Blackhole. Almost every single tier 1 ISP they offer BGP Blackhole. Almost every single well-known tier 2 carrier they offer it, which is great. And if you are in process of negotiation for your new connectivity or like expansion of existing one, you must keep BGP Blackhole as one of the key requirements. And of course for IPv4 and IPv6 protocol, because the IPv6 deployment is crucial for development of network and everyone needs to do it. Why? What is the point? And if, for example, if your network never experienced DDoS attacks before, it's a really great thing to have. Because it's one of the first things which is, I mean, it's cheap, or it's literally free, which can be used to detect very dangerous types of attacks called DDoS attacks or volumetric DDoS attacks. And BGP Blackhole is extremely efficient. in that matter. So, and if you have no issues with DDoS attacks, it doesn't say that you will not have issues in 10 days and in a few years. Better to have it. Please believe me, it's really great to have it in place. And if you will be a happy person to never ever use it, but just in case. And again, so we have everything in place. We have upstream, which is fancy enough to support BGP Blackhole. And what is the next step? What we need to do to implement BGP Blackhole? First of all, we need to get a community number for BGP Blackhole, because of course there is an RFC about like what is the best number for BGP Blackhole community 666. But so many companies use different numbers for historical reasons, because this specific RFC I'm referencing to, it's quite modern, I would say, and BGP Blackhole is decades older than it. So you have numbers, you have community, you have BGP ping session, and we still have no idea how it works. What is a black hole? And one of the points, so many people they don't understand, it's BGP black hole and how it works. For example, you have attack from maybe 10 IP addresses somewhere else against your specific IP in your network. In many cases, people expect that BGP black hole will be used to block attackers, those nasty 10 IP addresses attacking our network. But it's not right. We are going literally to knock down our own host. I'm hearing really upset people. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Are you mad? Yes, that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to block our own host to stop DDoS. You need to understand it. It's called sacrifice. Because network operators and we have these, as network operators and service providers, we have different point of view. What does it mean to block service? Because there are many different points of view. Let's imagine what we are trying to do. Let's imagine we have network with 20,000 of IP addresses. And for example, we have 10G connectivity to external world. And in one specific moment, we receive 10G DDoS attack against specific IP address in our network. What is that IP? It may be somebody else's service, it may be a virtual machine, it may be residential connection, it may be some office building, it may be anything else. And from their point of view, it's absolutely unacceptable to block all traffic to their service completely. It literally means unplugging cable for them, no matter what kind of service they run, we don't care. It's harsh. And from their point of view, it's then bad. But again, let's move to point of view of carrier or operator or service provider. We have 20,000 of customers, and we have 10G link, which is complete 100% sealed by attack against one customer. We are talking about sacrificing one customer from 20,000 to keep 19,999 customers happy and connected. That's how BGP Blackhole works. BGP Blackhole is sacrifice. It's acceptable and reasonable sacrifice to save your network. It's in some cases, I personally feel for DDoS BGP Blackhole is DDoS mitigation. And so many people, there is concern, no, it's not. Because literally what we do in this case from perspective of attacked service, I mean website which is under attack, and this specific customer we unplug it, it makes goal of DDoS attack simpler, faster. Instead of waiting until service degrades completely, we literally do it on behalf of attacker and we stop it. Sounds terrible, but it's not. Again, it doesn't mean that we are going to block this specific affected by attack service forever. Attack may be very short, and like so many services they can handle. Literally any service can handle like small short time disruption. So and maybe that for minus half hour sometimes. It's reasonable, and in many cases, not so many customers will notice it. And again, it may be not final step of DDoS mitigation, because what we need to do, we need to keep our network running as fast as we can. Because everyone, for now, after we got attacked against this one specific customer, everyone in your office running around and yelling on you. It's very productive environment to think about that. In my previous videos, I had lots of topics like what is DDoS, why, who actually runs it, what it can do, what are risks. And when people are running around and yelling on you, you can think. Not so many people can think in this kind of environment. Because it's very stressful, damn stressful. And what we need to do, we need to remediate impact immediate and move away from 20,000 of customers are shut down and yelling you and calling to you, because your managers are yelling on you because customers yelling on them or investors yelling on them. So they just do their part. It's not them to blame. And point is, we need to stop it from bleeding right now. And BGP Blackhole is a great way to do it. Use it, deploy it, and let's talk more about how actually BGP Blackhole implemented. At this point, it's clear that we need to have routers, switches, BGP Tor, upstream, and upstream which actually supports BGP Blackhole to use it. And for now, we're clear that BGP Blackhole will be used to stop traffic, all traffic, against our specific host. Against specific IPv4 or IPv6 address in our network. Okay, it's clear. But how it works? It's not so complicated to explain, because, for example, you have 10G connection. And then you magically use BGP Blackhole. And for example, attack is 100G. What you can do? What will happen when we after we send announce about BGP Blackhole for specific host? Again, you may ask questions. How do you actually find what is the target of attack? It's a topic for next videos. Please subscribe to my channel and please follow me on LinkedIn. We will cover it. And for now, let's assume we know specific IP address. Like for example, you had some specific monitoring system which actually identified it, and okay, this specific 10.10.10.10.5 IP is target of attack. And you want to block it using via BGP Blackhole. What will happen on your side of your ISP? ISP, one or multiple. What does it mean? It means that if you have multiple ISPs, you need to send BGP Blackhole to all of them. All of them. And if for some reasons one of them has no support to BGP Blackhole, you need to move affected prefix by this attack only to IPs which actually have it. Because otherwise you cannot use it. What happens when after we send BGP Blackhole unknowns to ISP or upstream? First thing they will do, they will block all traffic for this specific IP, your IP, on their border, on border of their network. Because of course, for them, it's expected to have way more network capacity than your network. So if you are limited by 10G, their upstream may be 100G in total. So they have more capacity. And what they do, they apply Blackhole on their on border of their network. What does it mean they apply Blackhole? They literally block all traffic to or from this specific IP address in your network. Because you explicitly ask it for it, and you have full authority for it, because you own these IP addresses. And you can do whatever you want. And you should kindly ask it your ISP to block all traffic towards your IP address. What they're doing it on their side. Okay, done. For example, they have 100G total capacity, fine. And if attacks like starts getting worse, larger, and they have option because you know your upstream they have their own upstreams. What they're actually doing? They propagate BGP Blackhole announce to them, and their ISP is propagated to them, and by the end of propagation periods, it may be around few minutes, almost all networks on planet will know for sure to drop all traffic to this specific IP. And even if it was 100G attack for one company, it will be complicated to filter it out, because again it will keep the routers because we propagated these unknowns globally. But again, what I'm talking about, it's subject of policy of specific ISP. Some companies may not propagate it. Some companies have no ISPs which actually support black hole, or they have special agreement. But that's how it works in best case. And because we propagate this information to as much as possible ISPs, and it will lead for this specific attack to be filtering way closer to source of attack. For example, it's just one server for shady data center which actually generates this traffic, and their ISPs around, maybe even in their town or maybe in their country, will be instructed by you to drop all traffic. And actually it will mean that not so many amount of traffic every intermediate ISP will receive will be way smaller. So mission accomplished, and it's not your problem at this point of time, and it's not even your ISP problem at this period of time, because they delegated their problem, you delegated your problem with filtering traffic to them, and they delegated problem to filtering traffic to them, to their upstreams, and it happens in multiple levels, and until it's just tier 1 carriers which can do so many fancy things because they have plenty of capacity. So done, we filtered out traffic, we have no problem with traffic, and so on. We are really happy about it. And service for now, one service from 20,000 is dead. IP is still blocked. And then, in quiet environment, we may start thinking about what we can do. And we have multiple ways what we can do. And please follow my videos, and I will tell about it in next videos. So, thank you for listening.